to relax.
Quick question. Don't you think it's ironic that we are talking about opening a beach, but we'll go to Walmart or Jewel's and we'll be running right next to people?
Correct. No, but that happens. So talking about the world of baseball, they're saying that there is going to be a season, but that players are going to have to take less money. Owners are saying, yeah, we'll play, but we cannot pay your salary because your full salary because there's no fans in the stands. But I wanted to ask you guys, concessions don't go into players' salaries.
No. So I feel
but it goes to the owner's salary at least to help to pay the front office people.
So you're saying like backwards. You're saying, okay, it's not directly paid to the players, but it's indirectly money that goes into the owners to pay the people that work with the players.
I believe so because if you talk
that makes sense.
If you talk about players, obviously, how many ballparks in the United States sold out every day?
Not many.
2, 3?
Maybe one.
For my answer is just owners always have to have the last win, and they always have to figure out a way to do something logistically to mess it up. Because if the Miami Marlins are telling me that they can't pay their players because of their fans, then they would have had a franchise for the past 10 years.
Correct.
And they know what's on the franchise for $200 billion.
Your franchise is worth $2 billion.
So players,
and also, you're not selling jerseys. Like if this is like jersey sales or something like that, I understand, but the players don't touch any of these money. If you're telling me fans are playing
the merchandise goes to the team,
yeah. Like if you're telling me that these guys are paying it, like
it goes to TV rights, okay? Because now if everyone's gonna watch on TV, then you can go back to TV and say, hey,
we need more money.
We need more money because TV now is gonna be able to say advertisement wise, everyone's gonna be like.
Also, the TV deals that people have.
Correct, but so marketing wise though, like I feel like
that's the reason that
if you don't buy a hot dog, but if you don't buy a hot dog, you still want to sell your hot dog in the store because people are still consuming hot dogs. Like for me, the day that there's baseball, I will Instacart a hot dog from Frank's, which is my favorite hot dog.
At least you're not stealing your daughters.
Or stealing my daughter's hot dogs, but I'm going to do the whole thing. I'm going to eat David's sunflower seeds. But I'm saying, though, you can still watch the game and drink 3-1-2s for the White Sox fans.
You look at baseball like in a different – since you're used to watching a game and managing and just being there like –
No, but I didn't play professionally. Like, I watch a baseball game, I'm thinking about hot dogs.
Listen,
I know my –
everyone has – but you ate seeds when you managed.
That's
it. There's nothing else to do.
So I'm a big seeds guy. My dad hates sunflower seeds. Everyone out there has their snack to snack on, even when you're in the stands.
I know, say I hate it.
I love eating hot dogs.
Yeah, but I don't like had it too much. See next to me, making that very
annoying,
very ugly, annoying.
So everyone that's around you eats with their mouth open then.
Yeah, you're like
everybody but him.
Yeah. So I mean, honestly, like everyone, you see it from a different light because you were in the game for so long, but you don't go to games like we go to games. Like in the summer.
When was the last time you went? There's a video of you, Big Cat Andres Galarraga hits a home run. He comes
and it's like a big deal.
And you're in the stands. And to me, it's so like seeing you in the stands. It's like,
I remember the last time my dad was at a game. He went to watch 80.
Yeah, right.
Or we went to watch
every time 80. Now Dusty Baker, Ron Gardenhine.
You try to go and say hi.
I go in to say
but now it's media. But now it doesn't count because now when you go to the game,
I went to see.
I'm saying though, you go as a media because you were not covering the White Sox.
I love to cover.
There was a point between ESPN and you doing the games of the NBC Chicago
that you were just
a fan. That you were just literally went to the stadium and just watched 80 with your ticket. And sat in the stands.
Ticket, yeah. You know what I like? Every time I go to the ballpark here, I don't know.
And you complain about how much everything costs. So much.
Oh my God! But you know what's funny? Because I don't know how the name every year they change the name here in Chicago.
Yeah, it's called the G spot now.
Okay, the G spot.
What is that?
The only thing I love?
Wait, time out. What's the G spot?
It's called guaranteed rate. Guaranteed rate. I call it the G spot.
Oh wait, the Comiskey spot, whatever. I used to make fun of Florida and Miami because they change the name all the time. Obviously, they don't have fans. The White Sox have literally changed so many times.
Hey, Paga.
Yeah, they go like that.
Very, very
Hero Bay say, Paga. You changed the name.
Well, I remember there was a time that the games used to start at 7-Eleven, and every day before first pitch, because 7-Eleven did a sponsor.
Cool.
It was like,
that's pretty smart.
Play ball. 7-Eleven.
I thought it was cool. It was different from every other team.
But that's a thing that people understand about sports and business, that there is a business aspect.
They got a genius.
I mean, to be honest with you, though, we have people out there like even Joe Spinazza's. People are going crazy without sports. I mean, this goes to show you what kind of stranglehold sports has in our daily lives. Why? Because people like being a part of something. I mean, look at the documentary that's coming out on Sunday. It's going to break records. and it's just a TV thing that no one's seen.
That's
Well, by the way, they haven't played.
Yeah.
By the way, they haven't
Exactly.
played. That
I
happened.
believe Joe Exotic would have not been this
Of course.
big.
No, for sure.
Of course.
You know why? Most of the times you would have looked at it and been like,
This is dumb.
stupid.
Or a
That's
group.
very
I'm saying it would have been a group. I'm saying it would have been.
That
It
is
would have been.
stupid.
It would have been a small show. So we got guys right now playing on MLB The Show. Okay, we're watching them.
There's 10,000 people watching a video game.
A video game. Those are things that are called marketing and sponsoring.
I know. I don't have any response for that.
Because you
People
grew up in a
really
different. No, but I'm saying people miss their sports, they miss their players. But so players, do you think players should take? So a lot of players have come out and said, "I'll take a salary cut if you guarantee me that you're not going to fire anyone that works in the front office and that you're paying vendors like they were working the game."
I would take
That's
a
a
salary
huge thing,
cut
though.
if I would take a salary cut if you guarantee me my next year.
Wow.
It's just hard to do
Or you're gonna
because
pay me less.
True.
and then we're gonna fire you the next
And
year.
then I'm going to ruin my product because if you have 60, 70 games, what if your Alexis Ramirez have a very bad start, get really hot at the end?
Yeah, you hit 230.
You're going to hit 230. Yeah, but second half.
There's
I don't
fans.
think
There's fans on we're trying to read the
vice
text.
versa, by the way, too.
There's fans that are saying that that you should go join like a 45 and over league to play baseball. You would never do that. My
Why
dad
is on the Browns.
Mr. Ray Colon, he invited me to Puerto Rico. I guess he's a fan of the show. My dad only plays golf. He does literally nothing.
By the way, if he's going to Puerto Rico, he'll be golfing.
We just talk about coming here. I say, well, I don't like to work out. I don't like to get up. I have to start working out because for my health. Maybe
Well, there's nothing else
every
to do.
morning, every Monday. I got to start working out this week.
By the way, Corona's so powerful. I usually tell people I work out 3 days a week, which is a complete lie. I am averaging 1 to 2 days a week.
I think you get guilt tripped. Me and Natalia were talking about.
I know. I think
mean,
1 or 2 days. 1 2 days a week.
Guilt tripped because he sees us working out and he's playing video games.
But I do it. That's
I got to watch.
There's nothing else to do.
I get up
Yeah,
every day
everyone's like,
at
it's like for Jim. I told him that people love working out and it's a way of life. And now you're at home.
well, people are going crazy. People are talking about
Also,
looking for
it helps you
underground gyms.
Yeah, it's like a
People
a
are writing
crackhead
out
looking
there.
for crack.
People are saying like, oh, if you work out, you're not going to get sick.
The last place I would go with
All you
coronavirus
gym rats out there.
is a gym.
I was like they said,
No.
I was never the best at working out.
Oh, by the way, I read a little bit. I read more with the season. I have a chance to read more now than in the past. But I get up every day at 7 o'clock, 6:30, 7 o'clock. Now, since the quarantine, I try to get up at 10.
And it's harder.
No, I try to get up at 10 because on my days.
Well, a
you
couple
know,
shorter. Yeah,
Yeah,
and
so
a couple of days ago, you woke up at
By the way,
12.
what there's a
Yeah,
thing.
but I was a little happy.
By the way,
before.
he had a little slumber. He had a slumber party. At
Yeah,
Ozzy's
so,
house. We'll
yeah.
talk about that later.
Yeah.
A little slumber party. But Ozzy has a book for you. I think we should all read it.
I think everybody at this table should read it.
Yeah, it's the book about hitting, the evolution of hitting. It's pretty cool.
We have people offering to train you for free. People
For golf or working out?
For working out. People that are certified gym
By
instructors.
the way, I become so famous now. Like I'm Joe Tiger, Little Wolf from Okumala.
Matt, train this guy.
Everybody like
If Matt gets Ozzy to work out,
It'll be a miracle.
that would be a
The only
miracle.
reason the man's working out is because of quarantine. And there's nothing else.
So I know Ozzy's gonna hate this topic because he thinks that it's funny, but I wanted to bring it up because people. There was a wrestler. Okay, he got on camera and he was let go from the WWE and he was crying about that he was gonna give his all for these next 3 belts. And there was a part of me that thought that was a gimmick, and there was a part of me that says, I hope this guy doesn't think that this is for real. So I was like, you just got let go for it. So I know Oni's a huge wrestling fan. WWE's happened. Oni, who would you rank your top 3 wrestlers?
First of all, I would like to say that wrestling is entertainment, and anyone I just know too much about wrestling. So
When did you find out that wrestling was fake, and were you more disappointed that you found out that Santa was fake?
Santa, we don't have
Or-
any kids
or-
watching wrestling for sure. I remember going backstage and thinking the guys were like, I was scared of the Undertaker, literally trembling of him. Like, my dad's like, who do you guys want to meet? And I'm
No, wait a
like,
minute.
there's no way I can meet the Undertaker. He's scary.
Wait a minute. I remember you a baby, and they used to call somebody. Make the move.
Yeah. Well, I used to-
And you like the idiot. Like,
Yeah. Well, I was also I would call this 1-800 number and ran my parents' phone bill up. But I've always been a fan of wrestling. I don't
I thought
watch
you were
it.
gonna say you still fit a 1-800
No.
numbers.
Only sexual ones. No, I'm kidding.
It changed from 40 years old to
adult.
16 years old. That now is a different.
So I've always liked it. I don't watch it anymore. to be honest with you, because I think the product's died down. But my favorite wrestlers have always, Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels. I used to love Hogan. Then I found out that he was actually not a good wrestler. So I watched.
But you want to watch a good wrestler. You see me with the mascot in Mexico and doing stuff to the fans, and fans is screaming, call me names, and I love it. But in Mexico, when you go to those,
it's like the real Lucha Libre.
They're really good wrestlers. They're really good tactical wrestlers.
It's a culture.
It's a culture.
Yeah,
and I'm gonna be honest, if you guys don't know out there, I don't think anybody here watches wrestling still, but we watched wrestling at my house all the time. Ozzie, he had the DVDs. Ozzie, yeah.
By the way, if after The Rock left wrestling, I left wrestling.
By the way,
The Rock.
if people did not know this, if one of the top 5 things that I have in trivia, even with all the
John Cena.
But
the only reason he knows that's because of the reality TV show. Mom makes him watch.
By the way, though, but with wrestling though, I could literally.
They're bringing old school guys like Dick the Bruiser, Joe Spinazza. We're talking about from like 1985 on. You're just
Little Red Devil. No, but I'm saying though. So for me though, it's wrestling is something that the trivia wise I know a lot of, and people don't realize how close baseball and baseball and
good observation. I never. I'm sorry for
go, Cubs, go. Yeah,
Edgar Aponte. Good observation. Wrestling is fake.
No, it really don't.
Thank you for the observation.
So it's kind of obvious. So we watch movies.
So it's reality TV.
Those are fake. Reality TV.
So name your 3 wrestlers.
Fake.
For me, The Rock.
3 wrestlers.
A gentleman called the greatest athlete of all time. His name was Kurt Hennig, Mr. Perfect. One of my all-time favorites. And I think Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Oh my God, I like.
Yeah, the funny thing is that you have them and you've been watching.
No, I love. But I have to take.
And by the way, I've never gotten drunk with any of them, but I have partied with other wrestlers, which is an amazing white line.
Brian Knobs.
I should tell Del Toro.
Drew was with me I was at the hotel. No,
we got drunk with
the Dodgers.
Is Anaheim. We're staying in Orange County. We met Hulk Hogan and the Mouth of the South.
Jimmy Hart. All the song, Hulk Hogan was talking with me like he was wrestling against me.
By the way, they were all drunk.
But
So
here's the best part though. So anyone that says that wrestling's not good, our president was in WrestleMania. Now he's president.
And he hosted WrestleMania.
I called
also
to say, hey, I'm here with Hulk Hogan. I'll be go, shut up. Hurry up, calm down.
Dude, that was a weird day. And then the next day we saw Alec Baldwin.
Drinking coffee.
By the way, the actor?
Okay, mine was a Macho Man.
Okay, great baseball player, but I drafted.
The Hulk Hogan, because I think Hulk Hogan was the
most famous.
It's Brian Knobs, by the way.
Hey, by the way, Andre the Giant.
Yes. Legend. Great HBO documentary.
No, I love Andre the Giant because I can't believe that guy went through hell. Can you imagine the guys in the airplane?
Yeah, for the love of the sport.
Yeah,
it's a
don't make any much money.
Mine were 1, 2, 3 Kid, who was X-Pac after.
Yeah,
and then Razor Ramon.
Okay. By the way, he beat Razor Ramon.
Razor Ramon when I was
they were teammates. And then the last one, obviously being from Miami, Rocky Maivia. The Rock.
By the way, so Ozzie just went complete 90s. We went a little bit older. Yeah, but if you're a wrestling fan, let us know who you love. Wrestling is something that is
dear to her. Macho Man. Because what?
Queen Elizabeth.
Yeah.
Well, if you wrestling now, it has like really, really beautiful women, and it was back then it was.
Oh my God, they
actually wrestle now.
Yeah.
No, but what's the lady? You know who wrestled too? Turbo Del Toro,
the Demon.
So there was a point in my life that I thought Ozzie was either going to be a Major League Baseball player or B, a professional wrestler.
Well, it happens when Del Toro is practicing all his finishing moves on you in the training.
It was great, though. I'm not going to lie, though. Wrestling's been great. For Mr. David Hammond, I love the fact that he's ravishing Rick Rude.
I got to go a little deeper than you guys. Basil Bata, El Tigrito del Ring, El Dragón Chino.
But people don't realize this. Venezuelan, Hispanic culture and wrestling is
we copy everything in Venezuela.
No, I'm saying it's a big thing. Like you watch it you watch Lucha Libre on TV.
We always have one guy in every sport and everything. We have no wrestlers.
Yeah, he just said it.
Guys are bringing up great names.
El Ring.
Ultimate Warrior, Rey Mysterio. My point is this, especially if you have kids. I know Ozzie's about to have a boy soon.
By
the way, look.
Exactly.
I'm actually wearing a
wrestling hat. So, hey, I went to the store. They give me this hat. You send me to the store. You guys got to go to the store.
Oh yeah. The one in Ashland, the 1 hour
I think it's Damon in Ashland. No, Damon.
Yeah, I'm just saying. Like, I'm sure Ozzie's kid when he's born, Ozzie Jr. I'm sure they're going to be
So
playing.
I'm going backwards.
Who's that guy?
So I've thought
Stone
about
Cold.
this. So talking about
Who's the guy? What's the politics after that? Him?
Oh no, that's
Minnesota.
Jesse the Body Ventura.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he was also a big wrestler. So this is something that's funny about wrestling that you mentioned about liking something that's old school. So your kids believe. I'm with Adela, and Adela's gonna believe everything I tell her. Okay, so like I'm like her everything. So like, do I let them watch like current baseball, or do I just let them watch like highlights from like you're only watching George Brett?
No, both.
Like, I'm saying like when my son's playing, I'm like, this is all like. There's a video of Tony Gwynn talking about hitting, and it's like
amazing.
So, I'm just saying that like all these older guys now, because of the whole hitting thing is all these older guys' videos are coming out. So do I tell my son, hey,
Talking about
only
that,
old school?
Talking about that, there's a video on YouTube that everybody should watch, and that you guys should all watch also. It is Ted Williams, Wade Boggs, and Don Manley talking about hitting. Ted Williams is talking about what they're doing now that you're making fun of the launch angle and all that. Ted Williams was talking about that like 50 years ago.
But
Wade Boggs.
Okay,
let me finish. Wade Boggs and Don Manley vividly get upset with Ted Williams, and Ted Williams looks at him and goes, "You're not doing. You think you're doing that, but that's not what you're doing." Pretty much proving what people say now is that what you do.
I understand. Okay, who got that conversation?
Wade Boggs,
Don
Manley, Ted Williams.
Okay, now I have idiots dressing like a drug driver.
No. So that's the point. If Ted Williams came up to me and said,
he like this.
No, I'll give you an example. Let's go back. Let's go real baseball. People don't like A-Rod. People don't like Barry Bonds. I think Canseco should have gone this route. If they make a video and say, if you want to hit like Barry Bonds, hit with a 33 bat, create bat speed, and I call this launch angle, I'm buying that DVD. Because, for example,
remember what you just said. What you just said, and you can go back and say it again. You can teach your daughter whatever you want to do.
Correct.
So if you're teaching these kids at this point, I'm very curious to see what high school and college baseball would look like in 10 years.
For sure.
Just because this whole trend from like little kids actually grab. What if kids are hitting like 50, 60 home runs?
Then we'll go back and say,
and then they figure out how to hit. Yeah, exactly. That's what I think. People are onto it. I just don't think the way that you like the guy. By the way, he's talking about the teacher man. He just doesn't like.
Everybody talks about hitting.
No, so you don't like the message.
He doesn't like the way the guy
plays it.
Let me explain.
Something Stone.
Yes.
If you listen to John Stone, I think if you listen to him talk about hitting, it is the most scientific thing you'll ever hear in your life.
And his swing's not very good.
And literally, the thing is, it's doing the same thing everybody else does.
Yeah.
Except that it's the way they explain it.
Okay,
when my dad has a problem with, and I tend to agree with him, you can't tell someone how to be successful in something if you've never even
been
in it remotely. Like, I can't tell you how to be a chef if I've never worked at a restaurant. I can maybe give you an advice or say this, but there's guys out there that talk about hitting that have no background in MLB, in professional sports, in anything. The most they've done is play
or don't claim a guy, because this is the other part. The reason that I became obsessed with Perry Hill defensively, and again, there's a million guys out there, you can Google Perry Hill, is because I worked with Perry Hill personally. Out of the Guillén family here, we're always comparing about who's the best at what. I'm the best at being the worst at defense. My hands were like my father had never played professional baseball. I was very bad defensively. I was a guy that they had to break down like Tom and Mansky. Ozzie, ball, here, gut. And Perry Hill's workouts with me made me better. They simplified.
Correct.
And then he had Derek Lee. But who do you have?
But not only that, but Perry Hill or anyone that's worked as he started getting credit. He had already been a coach for a long time.
20 years.
He had already been in the game.
Yes.
When Perry Hill first started, they're like, "Who the hell are you?"
Yes,
okay, by the way, when Perry Hill went to people start know Perry Hill was because the Marlins. Perry Hill was working way before.
Yeah, Montreal. Yeah,
he had been a field coordinator 2 times.
So basically, if you're going to teach someone how to do something, my dad likes credentials. You have to know what
the best infield coach.
Yeah, you have to know. But you have to know what you're talking about.
The guy that we always talk about is the guy teacher man. Nobody likes this guy. He's banned from like talking in like 3 social media.
But I think he should also wear
But the thing
he
is,
should wear a jumpsuit.
He's an idiot because at the end of the day, it's like when he says, he goes, if I teach in jean shorts, everybody teaches in gym shorts. So I become more famous because of what I'm wearing.
True.
Yeah, we're asking. We have fans.
If you go to the other side, then you have a guy that teaches the same thing, whose name is Craig Wallenbrock, who was a guy that taught, what's it, head down, stay down?
Walt Rignac,
which was
and Charlie Lau.
who believes. You guys have to read the book. He believes in all this stuff.
So we all need to read the book, and we're all going to break down the book. What's the name of the book? What's the name of the book?
It talks about Ryan Ventura. It talks about Frank Thomas.
What's the name of the book?
King Swings.
King Swings. We're all going to download it.
Jared Diamond.
If you don't want to read it because
it teaches. If you like baseball,
you're listening to audio.
If you like to listen to audio, if you like to you like about baseball, it explains the whole trajectory of why hitting is going this way, and it's cool because
what's the evolution?
It goes all these new hitting coaches. They have people who taught them, like Walt Rainiac, Charlie Lau. These are guys that have worked firsthand, and then they're the first guys like the Dodgers guy, Wallenbrock, who did Bellinger, John Peterson, all those dudes.
Well, the reason I can teach. Know that,
okay, I have a question. One more thing. Sequoia, the guy from the Dodgers. You know, he's never played past junior college.
No, I knew that.
But that's.
But I'm saying, but like,
and everyone out there,
Walter wasn't a successful.
Everyone out there that's asking, we have different fans asking about this, if the show in Spanish. Tratamos de grabar un segmento después de los shows de los tópicos que estamos hablando hoy. Soon, en español.
Pero entonces yo digo, es igual que yo vaya ahorita a cinco.
By the way, we just forgot that the show's in English.
By the way, one thing, David Hammonds, Perry Hill is up there in shadow. He is a magician, but he didn't make Ryan Miner good. So he can't be that.
So the part about hitting, though, that I believe that's an evolution is because I do believe this. When I teach hitting, the reason I had to teach kids the Walter Rainiac way is because, and I kind of try to add things, is because I learned that way. So for me, it's easy to teach about keeping your head down. You know, again, we're all going to break down the book. I believe that hitting is an evolution. It's like everything. It's like to my next topic, okay? So I think that we always need to get better. And I don't want this topic to get personal. We don't have to do name calling or whatever. We all know what everybody tweeted and whatnot, and that's fine. But for people that were asking in English about what the situation was, because I had a conversation with the president of the BBWA, okay? Our buddy, Mr. Sully.
Baseball writers.
No, hold on.
How Sully's the president of that? Well, we got
every year. No. I'm saying though, Sully. So we talked, and they had no idea what was happening. So this gentleman by the name of Juan Vené, who's been writing, I looked up his age. He's actually 91 years old. How much damage can a 91-year-old do? This is how much damage because of the way that you write.
Who lets him write a paper?
Correct. Who lets him write a paper about evolution, about not changing your mind? He wrote a story, a very negative story, where he attacked a player by the name of Ronald Acuña, personally saying that he was a gang member, saying that he was a
third person as Roberto Clemente.
But the part of the story that I cared about, and the part of the story that affected me so much, was that a day before Jackie Robinson Day, this person used the name of Roberto Clemente. Mind you, he had used other players in the past who did not have the clout of Roberto Clemente, but he went and used the third person, Roberto Clemente, to basically say that Ronald Acuña was in a gang, that he was literate, that he was dumb where he had come from.
Basically called him a monkey.
In other words, so my whole my issue was that if a person that was not of Latino descent had written this article, we would have crucified him, we would have had all his credentials, we would have fired him. There's been guys on TV that have gotten fired for way less. So that's why I was upset. I wasn't upset about anything with the guys that have in the past. I was upset that he used Roberto Clemente's name, that he would have gotten fired if he wasn't where he was from, and that he was out of line. And then at 91 years old, again, evolution, we need to get better. If that's how baseball was covered in 1935, I understand that. But now I don't accept
that. Actually, you don't have the rights. You can criticize people personal and say, I say it.
Correct.
Me, I did it. Okay? You're not going to say, put somebody else. Now, it can be Roberto Clemente, it can be Pedro Guerrero, it can be anybody. Okay? Second of all, when you give personal, like this kid it looks like a Salvatrucha, you know, for us, that's not. When you talk about his family, to me, he say couple stuff, and I agree with him.
Yeah, of course. You don't like the way that he plays.
Okay,
maybe
hey, listen, but that's the way people play right now. But give me today the bat flip.
You're not a fan of it.
No, I hate it. And I told my friend, my coworker, I said, what? This kid changed the game? And I love him, but he don't change the game. Oh, no. But for a bat flip?
Yeah.
Okay. In Chicago, this bat flip is more
famous than everything. No, I'm saying, I want to explain it. You think that, we're talking about Tim Anderson. You think that Tim Anderson is way better than just a bat flip?
Yes.
You think that he'll...
It's a batting title. He had a great potential to be...
As far as you're going to go.
Great. He had a potential to be a good player. He got the tools.
He got potential to be a center fielder.
Can he do that? No. Okay. We just talk about Roberto Clemente and this idiot. He just write the stuff. But now we talk about later about Anderson.
But your whole thing is that you think that something's bigger than just a bat flip.
Yeah.
It's just the way that some things that for your old.
You know what bothered me about the article and everything was anything. I always feel like, and look, I mean, we're in a hat to represent where I'm from. is that I always feel like Venezuelan people go out of their way to criticize our own.
Everybody.
I really, really wish that we were more like Mexicans or more supportive of our own kind.
Well, technically, people don't know this. That guy's not even from Venezuela. He changed his name to be more from Venezuela.
Well,
he's like, Juan Vené's not from Venezuela.
Well, my point is that he's recognized as one of our one of our own. I always feel like the people that criticize Venezuelans are always our own people, our hushes. I wish we were.
By the way, this guy is not from Venezuela. He made all his money when he was young. I think I'm not going to say anything about him because he was great. To me, he was one of the best in the business, 1970s, 80s. And I know him very well because Ernesto Aparicio.
Okay.
He was a good friend with Juan. I know a lot of friends with Juan. By the way, I do the prologue, whatever you call that, for the book. In his book in 1985, 86, I was Rookie of the Year. He made me to write it. And every time I go to New York, but I can say anything about this idiot just because I know who he is. Okay, first of all, when you're in media, you don't have to talk good about everyone. You don't. You take whatever you feel. Okay? But in the second one, every time this man make money, you go to Venezuela, write a book. It's just been read by somebody else, and he copied that book. Second of all, he's always talking some stuff like create some stupid thing.
Yeah,
can read it.
Well, he also knows that controversy sells.
That's why for a little while he never talked about Ozzie Sr anymore because I called him up.
Yeah,
I did.
I'm surprised Acuña's not suing him. That's what
because
I would do.
But
here's the part that but you don't know. But here's the part where it's wrong. Okay.
Or Nate, you look like a Razor Ramon.
I will go as far as to say this.
Scott Hall.
No, because I like to make examples. When people ask me about comments made by Ozzie Guillén on Fidel, I'm like, dumb comments, got suspended, did his time. I'm mad about the fact that they haven't interviewed him more. But here's the part. Ozzie did not say, because he could have said this, hi, ladies and gentlemen, I'm from Caracas, Venezuela. And where I'm from, they teach us that this guy's great. He didn't put it on somebody else. He said, I said this. So I think that when you report or when you write up about someone, say me, Juan Vené, or me, Ozzie Guillén Jr.
As part of like wherever he's writing out of, how bad of a journalist do you have to be to go
the editor,
a third person?
The editor. That's what
like,
I mean.
Dude, you're gonna write through a third. Like, what am I paying you?
What am I paying you for?
I can write myself and be like, hey, Jesus, or Muhammad, or disciple, or Babe Ruth.
In the part that I critiqued about it, and people are like, you're crazy. Like, I wrote a private message to the Clemente sons, and I said, you guys want number 21 to be retired. Okay.
Ain't gonna happen.
No, hold on. You want your father's figure to be the representative of all of baseball, of Latin America. You cannot have someone use your dad's name this way. Why? Do you imagine if someone would have came out yesterday on Jackie Robinson Day and said Jackie Robinson would be completely against the bat flip, and you guys were all a bunch of clowns? Do you imagine the backlash on that for that reporter? Because they would have said, well, "Who are you to say what's Jackie?" Because a part of me could have been like, Jackie Robinson was such a serious guy. Jackie was more Paul Goldschmidt than he was Bryce Harper.
Yeah.
By the way, another thing is a lot of people, and I went back after reading the thing about like Clemente and all that, and like a lot of reporters came out and that they were like saying like little articles and stuff, little tiny articles, saying how everybody knew Roberto Clemente as a hot dog when he played.
Yeah.
They called him a hot dog.
They never see Ozzie play hard.
Wait, Jeff Torben said the same thing. He goes, if you saw him play, you wouldn't like it. Why? Because he was flashy. Why? Because he's faster than everybody. He's throwing the ball from like right field. So at the end of the day, that was the Ronald Acuña of that time. That was the time that he did it.
He made things look easy. The guy was making
First of all, what do I say? The guy's 91. Who's buying this stuff?
Correct.
No buying. I think you can write wherever. You can be 20. You can be 103.
No, you're 91. You should be at home.
Okay, yeah.
You probably have Alzheimer's.
No, but the funny thing about it, don't you see what he say about his family?
Yeah. No, but that's a different topic.
No,
but
that's the more important thing.
I know, but that's a different topic. But it went to this part of the story is. This is why old people are getting kicked out of radio booths and papers.
You know what I'm saying about
this is why they're no longer they're taking the microphone away because it's like
dinosaur thinking.
It's like
very.
But he's a part of the story. This is why we're like, oh, why is so and so retired? It's because like, hey,
I would love this era Don Zimmer to hit each other. Because Don Zimmer, from everybody says, yeah, great baseball mind, but they said at the end of his career he was just sitting there. I would have loved to see him like they would have been like, shut up, Don Zimmer, like Aaron Judge, or like Sandy, like. Shut up, old man. Like it's kind of crazy to think that. Like,
but okay, you know what Juan Vené doing? And I put it on kissing everybody behind in New York to survive. That's what he's doing. He's writing to
kissing bleep.
Okay, well, I want to touch a topic because I'm someone. If they're gonna say that I have a big mouth for standing up for someone, by the way, I've never met Ronald Acuña. People think I'm crazy.
Me either.
I've met his dad many of times. I've never met him, like hung out with him. Never. I know him through Cafe and through Andrew Jones. I love the way that he played. Again, is he the first rookie to ever not run the bases? No. I didn't run the bases at one time. My college coach was like, Ozzie, run, stop being lazy. I think it happens, but I think that personally saying like you can.
Is it everyone's curse with the outfielders? Like Bobby Cox took out Andrew.
No, but I'm saying I know, but I think if we have this conversation here, just us among family members, and we talk about what we like in players and not like players, we are all completely different. We make fun of him with the players that he likes because if you come out with a little bat and start doing this and you're flashy, you're like, oh, he's like, I love him. And I'm like, who is this little miniature person? I'm like, I want the guy that's 6'4", 285 pounds and your handshake because that's the game that I grew up with. So everyone, you like guys that are like multiple utility players. Everyone likes something different. So I cannot attack a person. And if you were that writer that was like the guy that was attacking people for doing negative things, I would have said, hey, why didn't you write this about the situation with the pitcher from the Pirates and the Venezuelan thing? I would have understood there. You have to sit there and say, he's got to wear it. Because I've had friends that personal stuff has happened to that I say, hey, man, just sit back and just have to wear it. It is what it is.
Acuña technically has not done
anything. He doesn't done anything. It's just being immature.
The kid, I even know, you guys send me that Acuña said, you send me like, the kid asking somebody, who is that guy?
He didn't know.
He genuinely,
but he wouldn't know.
Genuinely did not know who it is because I know somebody else there.
But I bet he knows who Tiger King is.
He asked his brother, he goes, mira, ¿quién es Juan Vené?
By the way,
Juan Vené, look at me. I know you have people there. The day I see you, I cannot do anything here because I'm going to be in jail.
You're going to threaten
I love it. 91 years old, I love because I don't know.
Wait, my dad only picks fights.
Why are you always going to fight?
This guy wants a.
You wanted to fight Frank Robinson when he was like in a wheelchair. Why do you fight?
Oh, you want me to 25? Wait a minute. You want me to fight?
Always pick a fight you can win.
Of course, always.
I remember. You know what's funny?
No.
I feel like this guy isn't writing any of this stuff. I feel like somebody's writing it for him, and they just put.
I feel bad as a family because I'm sure like you're like, man, this guy's an idiot.
I will shy away.
So
made Kelvin Escobar cry.
True, he did,
which was hilarious.
So the next,
which is awesome.
The next topic.
Why even know that? Who's that guy?
The next topic that we have for today's show is one that is actually one of my favorite games to play in the game of basketball now because it's the only thing I can do in the game of basketball now.
Explain to him he didn't watch. The ESPN grabbed like 5 or 6 guys, or I don't know, around the country from the NBA. I think a couple women were in it too, and they played a game of horse. How do you call horse in Spanish?
Caballo. Se llama
casa. So on TV, they were trying to give content to the fans. You make a shot, the other guy's got to make a shot. Did people love it or not? I personally, even JJ Redick, who's in the NBA, tweeted about it, and he said he hated it. He's like 5 minutes. I thought it was terrible.
I think it was bad because there was no like common gym. You could see the difference between how much NBA guys.
Who was playing?
It was like current. It was like legit, like Zach LaVine in Chicago.
Yeah.
Mike Conley. It was amazing.
Okay, thank you. And you put
LeBron James.
Wait a minute. If you put Magic Johnson, Michael Jordan,
I will take the idea. You grab all the retired players
we would watch,
and you make them into shooting. By the way, I enjoy watching the 3 league, the Ice Cube League, the 3-on-3.
3-on-3.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, whoever you are, NBA basketball, and all my friends are watching Miami.
Damn, there's a lot of NBA fans on here.
Hate NBA basketball. Besides the Miami Heat, because I do like the Heat because they're entertaining to watch. Who's going to go to the finals this year? LeBron and whoever he's playing with.
Or Spider-Man.
Hey, this guy
Donovan Mitchell.
Okay.
You know what I think is funny about the NBA?
Boring.
You know what the thing about the NBA is funny? Our friend Eddie always talks about it. When they talk about when they lost their core fans. So people don't know this. Maybe it's because my dad was Ozzie Guillen. I was actually a bigger basketball fan than I was an MLB fan.
Oh, NBA in the 90s was.
Well, I'm saying I also grew up with Michael Jordan. Like, he went to school and no one was like, hey, do you like Ray Durham? They're like, who's Ray Durham? So they're like, do you like Ron Carcamine? They're like, who is that? Like, people are like talking about when I was growing up, there was no like White Sox Cubs. It was like the Bulls. Bears were horrible.
The Bulls.
It was like we liked the team that nobody ever watched. They're like Walter Payton. I'm like, who is that guy? But then the Bulls were right there. So literally, this show, The Last Dance, it could be the last dance for Ozzie because I kind of watched it afterwards.
Charles Barkley. I love Charles Barkley.
But here's the part about
you put Charles Barkley.
We know who's going to be in the final.
Shaq.
Before the first tip-off, first game.
That's why I
we know
baseball. One thing I want to say about baseball, and this is I think why people still love baseball. You can pick the seating for NBA.
Never works.
You can pick the seating for football, and you're gonna be very close.
You'll play 50%. By the way, 50%. You'll be 50%.
Baseball,
I think
40%.
in NBA, I guarantee
NBA, you're in 90.
80.
Yeah, 80, 90 easily.
In baseball,
It's
at
impossible.
the end of the day, the Pittsburgh Pirates, let's put it this way, have a bunch of prospects, all arms.
Nobody knows who they are.
Nobody knows who they are,
But
they
they're good.
can actually go into the season, have a good first half.
No.
Just the first half.
And be good. But
Be good.
here's the part that you're talking about that. So like when basketball happens, and again, I'm not a huge basketball fan because of NCAA basketball, just like the NFL, we know who the top players are, even if they're not like the main person in the cover of the magazine. In baseball, sorry, no one watches college baseball unless you're like Osney or you're like in scouting or you're an agent. But no one's like, ooh, that third round pick they picked. Everyone lies like, who did my team pick? And it's like,
and it's also-
there are
guys out there. Again,
also it
somebody
goes-
watching the show's probably
No, but I'm saying a small group.
Yeah,
So it's not like no one can tell me. No one can come here and tell me. We're all baseball fans right here. And if we had a test on the Pittsburgh Pirates or the Baltimore Orioles to name me the top 10 prospects, we would have a hard time because that's how hard the game is. And that's why this topic goes full circle about. That's why everyone like Oni is scared of having a shortened season when only 60 games are played.
Yeah, because that means anything can happen.
Anything can
I
happen.
don't like that. I don't like
He
that.
doesn't like that at all.
Talking about prospects, one of the best young people I've ever watched in my life. It was a first round pick from this year, Adley Rutschman. He's a catcher from Oregon State. Unbelievable, man. He will be in the big league lineup in like a year.
So for example,
Also in the
Upper,
NBA,
yeah.
NBA guys go from you can go from you go to college and you go right into the thing. So honestly, the horse contest was horrible, but I do wish this is what MLB. I know MLB is doing the video game thing. I do wish that MLB would bring back the skills games that they used to do in the All-Star game. I thought that was
the
awesome.
NBA did it.
No, they used to do it in baseball.
No, they used to do it in baseball.
Like
Like the top 3 catchers throwing to the
When
thing.
did they do that in
Top
baseball?
time.
Look it up. It's in the 80s.
That's what I'm saying. What year was it?
Like I think like they
They
did it
used to
all
run
in the
the
80s.
They used to run the
They
baseball.
used to
fastest
advertise
guy.
in Venezuela.
In Venezuela they do it. I would like
I
this.
run.
I would like this. Okay, so
That's like
Major-
Against
so
Darnell
Major-
Nixon.
So Major League Baseball right now is doing the whole like MLB the show, which is awesome because I think they're not showcasing the this is better than baseball. They're showcasing the characters of the players. So they're actually marketing guys individually. Why? Because I believe that if you market, I'll give you an example. Amir Garrett. Okay, no, the only reason people knew Amir Garrett, other than he was a really good pitcher, was the fact that he tried to fight. You know,
Wait a minute, here, Coco Jesus Rivera. I heard you that this is pre-recorded. No, this is live, buddy.
We
By the way,
have fans that are
we-
giving us hold on, I'll explain. We have fans that are giving us a hard time about that we're not following the social
but
distance.
we all live together.
We also social distance.
Hey,
rules.
Mr. Coco
Rivera.
Jesus Rivera, when you go to Walgreens or Walmart or whatever state you're in that you go to the grocery store, do you go by yourself? Like, do you have a private grocery store?
No, but the rules are
So
the rules are
basically-
10 people at a house.
10 people.
We're at 8.
And everyone here is
We live together.
quarantining.
We all live-
quarantining with themselves. So
Sorry, our house is really, really big. We live in a farm. Like
Yeah.
people, we're not all sharing a house. So here's the part though about I would like to see. So Major League Baseball is doing a great job with MLB The Show, the Players League. I don't care if you like the league or whatnot. If it's like you can watch virtual like him, but I like it because you're seeing another side of players. Like I'll give you 2 examples. Mine. I had no idea Blake Snell was so funny and so down to earth and
Big
so
Call of Duty
cool.
player.
Like this guy's a super cool kid. Like I thought Blake Snell was super. I thought Blake Snell was more Greg Maddux,
No.
and he's not at all. Garrett Richards,
Those young guys now are different.
but Garrett Richards is the other one. Amir Garrett. Amir Garrett. Because the only thing that I had on him in my head was
Him chasing
striking out
everybody
guys
down.
and him telling his manager, "I'm gonna go attack the bullpen."
The best thing I
And
heard
but he's
about-
so different.
the
He's
best-
such a cool guy.
You know what I appreciate about Amir Garrett and watching him talk, because obviously people you always get
It's just
to
the guy in
Lefty.
Yeah, he plays in the league.
I
Yeah.
love it.
Yeah.
Of course you love
I
it. He
love
fought
it.
a whole team.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I love
For the soft game that we play now, he told Joey Gallo, they're talking about like a bats and stuff. He brought up in that bat of Joey Gallo in spring training in a B field. He said Gallo like pimped him or something. Like he did he goes, next time I'll face you, he goes, I'll make sure to remember that. I think Joey Gallo the next time he faces Amir Garrett might not swing. Like Amir Garrett right now in baseball is the scariest human being. If you get hit off him, he goes, I'm more scared of Amir Garrett than John Rocker,
Yeah.
Goose Gossage.
Well, because he actually went and did it. But
He
he actually went and did it. Like I think in baseball you have like the myth of like if there's a guy crazy. This guy went and like was like okay, very hockey move. Like I'll take on the whole bench. But I love the fact that they're showcasing the guys, and they didn't pick like one demographic. Is very.
I'll fight all of you.
By the way,
Santana,
chase him as a manager. You know the manager went like this, and he's like, like, would you have chased him?
No.
I don't want to give my butt kicked.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, good luck.
I'm from the guy that in every fight is in the middle of the fight.
By the way,
I remember you almost fighting in Kansas City.
By the way, Santana.
I have to.
By the way, Santana. Okay, Carlos. It's Carlos Santana.
It's
right?
a lot of Santana.
No, it's not
playing the guitar.
the first baseman for the
Indians.
Cleveland Indians.
Okay.
Me and Ozzie, brother, we'll give you lessons. You cannot. You're 0-5 right now. Erod and Rodriguez. Eduardo
Is
Rodriguez.
Angel better?
Angel is better right now.
Oh my
By the way,
Lord.
this league is all fun and games, like in every league, until you're 0-20. And there's only 10 games left, and you might not win a game in the players.
I don't think.
You don't think players are going to make fun of you?
I mean, Carlos
Santana ever played?
Yeah, Carlos Santana didn't grow up with a PlayStation in his house, probably.
Oh, because these guys claim they're good players. Like Jose Ramirez is
Joey
like
Gallo had never played an MLB. He said, "I've never played an MLB the game."
It was pretty good.
The good thing
Bichette's
is,
really good too.
the good thing is that when you put the game on, you see how much they've actually played. Like, you know how they have a little bronze.
And he was empty.
No.
By the way, those guys should get divorced.
Or they're not.
By the way,
married.
all day.
By the way,
Or 3 hours sitting
you know what's
there.
funny?
Joey Gallo's living life. He's hitting front toss in the tee in a
Penthouse.
Oh, I saw that.
That's
With
awesome.
glass.
Okay, so
Yeah.
here's something that's funny. I try to talk to players, and players are like, "Oh yeah, I'm busy. I'm doing this." I've downloaded Call of Duty.
They're all playing.
They're all like, "Wait, what's your name? Let's play."
If you,
I'm like, I'm not even good. I'm not very good.
Call of Duty is the shooting
The
game.
shooting game, but they all play. Cafe
That's
plays.
too quick for
Avi,
me.
everybody
Yeah.
plays.
I see this kid playing.
By the
Like,
way,
what?
I'm
Avi
35.
likes the
I'm
golf
young.
and the
By the
drinking.
way, there's a training session. I haven't even passed a training session.
Well, we played Ludo. That's very old.
Ludo. We play Ludo. Yeah.
Adela could play us in
Yeah,
the
last night, 2 nights ago.
2 nights
So
ago.
we played Ludo.
But have you guys watched any good movies lately?
I watch a TV show. So every Saturday, this is true story. Every Saturday, I go to my father's house. He has a movie theater in his house, and I try to show him a amazing movie every week. So last week was Sleepers. I'm sure this week will be Mystic River. I'm hitting him with the classics.
But he always pick a movie. It takes me a little while to understand because my English is
My
like
English-
By the way, but you had the
my
same
English is
issues.
not
Wait,
good looking.
you had the same issues with movies like that in Spanish.
No, but the thing is like
So I find a good movie, then we watch it with subtitles.
What movie should Ozzie Sr. watch that's a classic? Because right now, Shawshank Redemption, we might.
by the
think it
way,
might be
yeah,
one of
so
the
you
two
know what I watched last couple of days? Cangrejo 1 and 2.
Okay,
The
that's
Venezuelan-
Venezuela,
black and
Venezuela.
white.
Black and white.
Great
It
movie.
remind me.
You should watch talking about baseball.
It remind me-
Bastards of Baseball.
It remind me how people in Venezuela was corrupt the way they are now.
Well, the corruption is always
Same way.
existing.
Oh my
By the
God.
way, it's in the Bible. You
So
look it up. There's
we-
corruption.
we
All
have-
over the Bible.
Yeah, but no, this one is like this guy. He got everything around, but those people he was searching for.
So the translation of that movie is called Crabs.
No, but the thing is, he find everything. He find the guy who was guilty, everything. But those guys
Was the guy
party.
was the guy acting better or worse than you're acting in Venezuela? And do you think if
Oh,
that
everybody
movie,
better.
did you think if they would have made that movie in your time? Do you
No,
think
but
you would've
by the
got
way,
And
everybody- they got the best.
Ozzy, 2 days from now at 8, we know what we're watching.
can-
Here, you better
can
figure it
live.
out. You better figure it
Oh
out.
no, we're gonna watch that. We're gonna
So I
watch
have it at
the Last Dance because again, it's I love it. I told Sarah that I was gonna buy a pair of Jordans. The person who was gonna sell this to me, they sent me the price. I said it's gonna be my COVID-19 gift for being stuck in the house all the time. But so here's the
We
thing.
talk about the club. When you buy me the club, the
Yeah.
PhD, they say if I buy those clubs, my wife's gonna get divorced, and I can buy half of Chichirivici with the money.
Well,
Well, you make it a good deal.
I made a good deal, but I'm saying the Jordans. I grew up with Jordans. I grew up with all that.
Nah, I hate it. You know why? Because you two, I can give Jordan for free, any pair,
Okay,
anytime.
but you're also 6.
No,
Yeah, get,
but
like-
other stuff we don't like Jordans. Do you guys remember that?
Collected shoes.
Thank you.
So, hey, see, someone on the chat, they're saying Shawshank. We're going to try to get him to watch Shawshank, but it's slow and they talk a
Most
lot.
overrated movie
So-
that Ozzy's ever watched is Scarface. That's a fact. So going back to the situation of like the whole Corona and whatnot. Again, Florida's open. I think that baseball might be in the horizon. I think that I'm thinking there might be games
I think
in
there's going to be
That means is the game you like. That means spring training going to start pretty soon.
yeah, and that means that spring training will
But
probably
the
start
thing
at the
is,
end.
How many weeks do you as a manager you would say my players need X amount of time?
2 weeks.
2 weeks ago.
Because my pitching staff. By the way, they're throwing right now. They're
in shape.
By the way,
This isn't David Wells.
30 minutes.
This isn't Mark. Like even my dad. Like, guys, you're in a different.
You're not Ozzie Jr.
That's why guys don't play 12 years because there's a dude right behind you trying to get your job.
Yeah.
My cousin, Aiden, who's watching right now, he knows his role. That guy's hitting every day. He's got a guarantee.
No, everybody.
Like,
by the
so
way,
like,
everybody throwing like we said a couple weeks ago. What I was doing, I was in Chichirichi right now in my boat with you guys hanging out. Players right now, they're working out.
Max Dennis played 16 years in the big leagues. Never went to the gym unless he was rehabbing his knee. Never went to the gym.
You know what's funny?
Yeah, I went, but I never use it.
But you know what's funny about that? We were talking about records that are unbeatable, and I did a Here's the Thing for it. And I did not know that the Iron Hombre is the Iron Horse for Latinos. I did not know that Tejada had played so many games.
Yes.
And I didn't know that Sandy Alomar Sr. had played 661 consecutive games.
Yeah, Sandy Alomar Sr. was a pretty good player. Obviously, their kids was better than him. That's why.
Yeah, but I'm talking about like the
playing every day.
Playing every day.
It's a Pulp Fiction too deep.
I play every day. That's why. Then I went to play in Venezuela.
Yeah.
Then that's the difference. Then I quit playing Venezuela because my kids. But I played my first few years. I played in the big league, 160 games, 162 games.
Yeah, it's called being young.
But I'm saying, but if you play now 115, 130, you're like,
oh no.
It's a big deal.
Now in Venezuela,
I hope that Mike Stanton or Giancarlo, whatever he goes by now. I hope that all this extra time that he's getting off, that he should be on the field.
That will help.
He should be on the
He
field.
will.
So the fans that are listening there on the Being Guillén show here on La Vida Baseball, do you want your players to play 160, or would you rather your player play 140 and maybe hit 20,
140?
Yeah, you're right. But in the past, we can pay. I can pay to play.
Yeah, it was a structure.
I'm not getting paid. No, I'm not getting paid.
Yeah,
to
it's
make
not
money.
like speaking of playing, like they just came out with the stat that Michael Jordan didn't take in 3 years, 95, 96, 97, played every game.
Okay, let me tell you why.
Did Michael also take an NBA break though?
Let me tell you.
Yes, whole year.
Before that, yeah.
Let me tell you. Okay, let me tell you why. When Michael was with
impressive.
us, when Michael was with the ball club in the spring training, I asked him. I said, Ozzie, this is his life. I said, what? Yeah, this is like because I'm playing Orlando. He said this is a special name. I'm playing Orlando, and we are by 30 points. And if you want to give me a 2-3 minutes off, people start screaming.
Put him in.
No, that's why it can. That's why sometimes he say I sick on my stomach or
Make up
everything because
That's one thing that I have to give so much credit. I don't think people talk about Cal Ripken enough. Cal Ripken played all those games
Oh my
in a row.
God.
Not only that, he was also the guy on his team. Like he was going 3 for 3, 3 for 4. Like
Yeah, he was. They built around him. They built around him.
Not to hit on you, but you were more worried about going to the field, catching your ground balls, having good at bats. This guy's trying to carry a franchise at some point, and that's hard, man.
I think that he
especially
talks
at a
about
prime position being
And
that.
people
also, you know how to say clean. He might use a couple things, but you know me.
And you know the weird thing is that people don't realize he in the 80s the Orioles were a good team, powerhouse early when he got in. In the 90s, if it wasn't for the Indians, they would have been in the
he was
World Series.
He was very competitive.
They had good.
If they had the wild card,
if they had the wild card, they'd be.
But by the way, in the 90s when I played with them, I don't know. We have a great team. We have a horrible manager.
Good old Ray Miller.
When they ask me about manager,
Who's the worst manager you've ever had?
Ray Miller.
There you go.
No, I don't know. It's up between him and Larry Rothschild.
Wow.
But Larry Rothschild
has
the talent. You know how the talent.
Ray Miller had a squad.
Bro, Ray Miller had the people on the bench. 2 Hall of Famers on the bench.
Eddie Murray, Harold Baines, Ozzie Guillén,
Joe Carter in the bench.
You ever going to Baltimore and stay there, Camden Yards?
Baltimore for me was
every night.
Baltimore for me was like my pre-Braves. Like what happened to the Braves?
So this is what happened. My dad went from being on the Orioles, sucky,
my God,
not playing a lot. So all of a sudden we go to Atlanta, and I never had this feeling growing up as a Sox fan. No matter what happened, the Braves were going to win.
But
it is the best feeling going to Turner Field and who's on the mound? It doesn't matter. Who's on the mound? It doesn't matter.
And by the way,
the Braves are going to win.
I went from
that's when you learn to win.
Yeah, last play to first play, and we played interleague game against Atlanta.
So you were being
and I got kicked. Oh, then I got very into it. Harold Baines told me we won't kick you butt, bro.
Do you think the best thing that happened to your career managing wise was Bobby Cox?
Managing what? Yes. Yeah.
Like I mean, like
and it was at the right time because you weren't playing every day, even though Walt Weiss got hurt.
Bobby Cox give me the opportunity to
I'll tell everyone a story. My dad was telling me yesterday. Bobby Cox, he was playing. There's a runner on second. My dad's hitting eighth. He bunts. He gets the guy over. The guy behind him is a pitcher. Bobby Cox calls him over and says, "Hey, get over here. We over here. We need you to swing. You got the pitcher behind." And this guy goes, "No shit. I know you have the pitcher. I know I have the pitcher behind. Get a pinch hitter." He goes, "I'm not going to ground out to second. 0 for 1. Everybody, my average goes down, and everyone shakes their hand."
That's a stat.
Galarraga told me.
That's a change.
If you're second base, if you can get a half sack, what's a half sack? The guy going down and said, "Tag, you're it." If you're a righty hitter or a lefty batter,
and you do your job,
and the guy there's no outs, 1 out, and the guy no outs. That's the rule, no outs, and the guy moves the position.
You should get a sack.
Or just if we do all these analytical stuff,
or like a point.
Start
but there's a stat. So I believe this.
You know how much money I would have fucking made.
But this is the thing.
I'm bonding.
But talking about a second hitter, talking about guys that are big swing and miss guys. There's a stat now they're looking at. Tadahiro Iguchi was the best at it. Even though he didn't bunt, he would always, even when his outs were productive outs, meaning you were moved because people always count. People always think it's important the sacrifice fly, the runner on third. But
it's more important that
I'm saying you moving the guy to third as a pitcher and defensively.
Yeah, but he doesn't get
everything. Switches.
He doesn't like he's saying the guy doesn't get an RBI.
No, you get the
and your average goes down.
This year in winter ball, we had a very scabby team, and that's the thing I put. We give bonuses to people.
Bonuses. You know how many bounties? By the way, bounties. I did in my career. Bounties. I have a like 50 RBI. I told your own chulo, and I told the guy, I said, you know what?
Those RBIs are fine.
Batting me third.
I'm gonna get 80. You run into it. I go to hit 100. You know why?
Because I know what to strike out. I want to put them on play. Don't you call me go, you crazy. I said, well, you put me batting third. If every RBI you give me $100,000. I said, why? I will.
Yeah, you have to be. You're like, okay, so I won't be blind.
When people do the mathematics, and we've done this for fantasy baseball, and we can go. We're running out of time, but we can go in deep into that. Baseball teams are going to score runs. So even on really bad teams, someone's driving in 100.
You have to. You're the guy that's going to come up with it.
Look this up. Every 3-4 hole guy that had a lot of RBIs, the Josh Hamiltons, the Juan Gonzalez, the David Ortiz, the Manny Ramirez, the Frank Thomas. Go look at the guy who's hitting 2 hole. I guarantee you, be like, oh wow, that guy was good.
No.
The leadoff hitter,
and he scores 100.
And the leadoff hitter is always like the 2 hole guy
is always Well, here's the other part that's interesting about that stat is so the year that because I'm a guy, no one knows. I'm obsessed with Juan Gonzalez. No, that's what you think. I'm obsessed with Juan Gonzalez, and somebody threw a Twitter at me, and I'm really analytical, and I went and I tried to rebuttal. Now, before rebuttaling, I look stats up, and this guy wrote me and said, Juan Gonzalez is the most overrated RBI hitter of all times. And I was like, what are you talking about? So I was like, he's like, look it up, Junior.
Look who's around him.
So Juan Gonzalez, based on opportunities, this guy was like a 20% guy. Like converter.
Oh my
God. Meaning if he would have been like a 50% converter,
he'd have 250 RBIs.
This guy would have drove 250 RBIs.
Remember Josh Hamilton, the first time he had the Yankee Stadium? He had like 100-something RBIs.
Yeah.
Michael Young was hitting 340 in front of him.
Yeah.
And he was, I think, 72% of like the runs he scored was Michael Young.
So think about it. When the Blue Jays, they had Ricky and then Alomar hitting in front of 3, 4, 5. So those guys are awesome.
Yeah, but
they're going to be on base.
But think how many times, though, for those numbers that you're not driving in 180 and you only drive in 100. How many times you fail?
So that's why I give more respect. That's why I give more respect to Frank. I don't know if Frank had amazing second 2-hole hitters.
I think Frank's like a 70%. Frank and Miguel Cabrera are the best.
When you have a chance.
On the top list
of
the most
Miggy would never hit 40, 30 home runs in Tiger Stadium.
I was worried about that.
What's the most hit?
Yesterday I saw a video of that guy. His at bat. Another video for you guys on YouTube if you're bored. There's only 14. Watch Miguel Cabrera's at bat against Mariano Rivera when he takes him dead center. I've never seen a guy that just threw in at bat so much.
There's only one guy there's only one player that I will even hold in a conversation when you're going to talk to me about comparing about Miguel, and it's because me personally, I asked Miguel and said, "Who's the only player that you look up to that is currently playing right now that we can see that guy?" And he said,
Pujols.
He said Pujols. He said the only person that
he sees as a contemporary.
No, he said the guy that had like the line. I said, "What's your line? Like, what's the guy you're like?"
Who's the bar?
Like, I'm saying he had Cal Ripken. I always ask people that, like, who's your bar?
Mariano, Miguel Cabrera is obsessed without the Bulls.
So Cristiano Ronaldo has Messi. Messi has
Right,
Cristiano Ronaldo.
your mirror
Michael
image.
Jordan had Larry Bird. So everyone, there's always another counterpart. Manny Pacquiao had Floyd Mayweather. That always happens in sports. So I asked Miguel, and he said, Ozzie, Albert Pujols to me is, I don't care what anybody says that I'm better than him or if I'm not better than him. To me, he's like the holy grail.
Well, it's the same way when
So for me, when
Vizquel and Guillén, people think in Venezuela we enemy. We don't like
I'm
each
sure for
other.
Vizquel, you're the holy grail for him because he's younger than you.
Yeah, but
so he's probably didn't. So like when you go compete, that happened with the Wilson Contreras Yadi Molina situation. Wilson Contreras is obsessed with Yadi. Why wouldn't you want to be Yadi Molina?
They
And he said, he said, I want to be better than him. And Yadi said,
he's the bar.
He's the bar.
People got mad at him because, oh, you want to be better than Molina. I say,
Why wouldn't he want to be?
He not on respect Yadi. He say, I will be better than him. Why not? That means when you're better than that guy, who?
Ivan Rodriguez.
I don't like how people. I'm gonna say this right now. Yadier, great guy, awesome, great catcher, all your accolades. He's not better than Ivan Rodriguez.
Oh no.
Oh, never.
Not
Again,
not defensively.
Never.
Neither.
Defensively, not.
Have you guys ever seen Molina? There's a little secret. When there's a righty hitter, Molina always picks off the first base. Have you guys ever seen Yadi pick off the third?
No.
But I
Remember Ivan Rodriguez picking off the third base?
Ivan Rodriguez.
You know where it's ballsy to pick off?
No, by the way,
third base.
Johnny Bench.
We have a guy here, Rudy Ayers, saying that if you said if Frank Thomas can play first, that you could play first too. Hey, Frank played 8 years in the big leagues.
underrated first baseman. I think the only problem he had was throwing. But I never saw Johnny Bench playing. Only videos.
You never throw the bases.
Johnny was a
No, but I'm saying he never threw. I never seen. So, but again, numbers wise, the only guy that I accept in the conversation with Ivan Rodriguez is the Johnny Bench debate.
I've heard Benito defensive.
Other than that,
To me, Benito
Well,
Santiago is
Benito.
the best ever come from Peru.
I think talent wise, he's the best.
We're talking defensive.
But Pudge, you know what?
And
Ivan
Pudge-
Rodriguez yesterday, 2 days ago on Instagram
And
Live,
Pudge was the MVP of the league.
Ivan was talking to Vasquez, the young Puerto Rican catcher, Christian Vasquez, and he asked Ivan, who's a catcher that when you were catching that defensively and drove you and whatever, and he mentioned the guy in the picture that we had in the thing, and Benito Santiago.
Benito.
Well, just think about it.
Playing
Benito
both.
got in the league, what, 87, 88?
So Benito-
Pudge came in 91.
But
So he
Anyway,
saw him. So he said he imitated.
Is Benito Santiago taking himself half
Serious.
what Pudge?
Well,
that we
but
put
that's-
this-
Well, I'm
he's
saying
not playing for Puerto Rico better catcher than
but
him.
I'm saying catchers wise, you can debate that. Obviously, I think that when you talk about Ivan, his full package is
To me,
ridiculous.
the difference that puts
Imagine
Ivan
Ivan.
there, because I
Who's
saw
the best catcher from Venezuela?
Okay, who's the first Venezuela? Ramon Hernandez.
Ramon Hernandez by
Right now.
by thousands.
Right now.
We'll see how long the
We'll see.
But the thing about me that
Salvador Perez.
the thing I saw about
Again, because you can't say it because Salvador's career is not over.
Go look at the papers.
So for next week, we're gonna go and we're gonna have a debate on those two because you know what? We can't extend the time, but it happened about the Classic. I had a conversation about it in Spanish. About everyone says the best team ever assembled is going to be the team from 2009, and I said we won't know that until 50 years from now.
So.
And they're like, "What do you mean?" I said,
Yeah,
"What
but
happens?"
Hall of
I said,
Famers.
"What happens if Altuve, Acuña, and Eugenio
Let me-
Suarez
okay, let me-
all
Hall
end
of
up?
Fame.
No, I'm saying all end up being Hall of Famers.
Maybe-
We don't know that. They're kids.
Maybe honestly, but
That was not the
that's going to be better talent, better team.
With all due respect,
You don't know.
if you have Giovanni Carrara
No, but I'm talking about
as your guy, that can't be the most.
No, but I'm saying
Name the lefty pitcher. Name one.
Ledesma.
He wasn't even on the team.
No,
but
the
we
Detroit guy.
were talking about. Like,
I think Luis Ojo bring a couple of friends.
No, but I'm saying
That's
though.
what I'm saying. But when you say talent-wise, there is no more talented team in the World Baseball Classic for Venezuela than right now. Why? They have legit 5 starters.
So I gotta give
They
two.
have
in the
legit-
lineup.
They have legit
yeah.
5 starters. They have more batting titles than they've ever had. They've had more experience than they've ever had. They have Ronald.
You studied that more than me.
And
But
happy birthday, Mary Villa.
Name the leadoff hitters: Gregor Blanco,
But we gotta
Andy Chavez.
We gotta keep that. We're gonna talk about next week about the WBC and our Venezuelan team. But I gotta say 2 quick things. Today, on this day, was the day where Luis Aparicio made his big league debut and got his hit. So, being from Venezuela, he is our own Hall of Famer. He is the greatest player ever. Every stadium in Venezuela should be named after him, except the one that his dad named, obviously. But that's for another topic. And congratulations, felicitaciones to Jordi Rivas winning the Being Guillén League, La Vida Baseball, Osne.
I didn't make the playoffs.
By the way, so there's called dead ball and before ball. So before we had a show, this league existed,
Right.
and there was how many 3 seasons that Ozzie won every year. Now this is an official league.
And he's gonna get
if Vene's watching, we boycotted the final.
Hey,
He's gonna get his official La Vida. Jordy,
start playing.
Congrats, Jordy.
Congrats, Jordy. And now the people that play with us, get ready. The draft's currently happening. We're going with the second tier of teams. Mind you, I'm still playing with the same team because I had the worst. By the way, I had the worst team in our league. By the
way, Ozzie played with the Sox, and now they said we're gonna play with the worst teams in the game. The Sox are still the worst tier of the game. And Ozzie's still playing with them.
Very flexible.
Yeah. Very flexible. It's like we can go anywhere. So thank you very much. Again, do not forget that you can watch La Vida Baseball live on Mondays and Wednesdays at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Next week, our showtime changes again to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Fridays. So we can have 12 Central Time, so we can all be on the same schedule. On demand, watch us on our YouTube channels, all our social media. We have great content from all over the world. The girls are doing a great job. It's amazing. Keep watching. And then if you want to listen to our podcast, go on our podcast, wherever that you prefer, Apple, Spotify, pick it and listen to it. And again, the Spanish content is going to come out. So
thank you. That's what I'm going to say. Come on. When we're going to do
the Spanish content will come out. Gracias. Thank you so much. And we will see you guys next week. Have a good one.
We're going to see Adela.